Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. I greet you in the words of BB Fortier. Today is August 12th, Friday, August 12th, 1:10 p.m. And I wanted to go live to talk about this while it's still trending. But I want to go live to talk about this. Hang on 1 second, let me get comfortable. I wanted to go live to talk about what I've been seeing lately on my TikTok. So there's this new trend that has been developed in the last day or two where we have parents and the children are between the ages. I've seen some as young as like 1 years old to like maybe 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. And parents are locking them in rooms or closing them in rooms, at least closing. I don't know if they're locking, but closing them in rooms. And behind them is like this ghostly, spirited, demonic, evil type spirit. And only a small percentage of the children are looking at it like. But the vast 98% of the children are terrified. They're terrified. Screaming, beating on the door. The last one I saw, the little boy was screaming to get out. So imagine the type of terror and trauma this induces in a child. And mind you, all of this is just for likes. All of this is for that viral moment to say. And I've seen one caption, a female was like, "He's so bad but so scared right now." So that's like, let's just be real with you as an adult. You're in your bathroom and the lights just turn out and a demonic figure appears. Are you going to sit in the bathroom and you can't get out? How would you feel? I know that people don't think things through. I know people don't think things through, and as I like to say, it's part of the social engineering aspect of why we can't properly discern what we're doing. Because it's funny for one, like, and I saw it when it kind of started up, and I was like, that's weird. But over the last 2 days, it's gained a lot of traction, and I see all type of parents doing it. I see fathers doing it to their sons and daughters. I see mothers doing it to their sons. And it's not just a black thing, even though it's majority of us, but I'm seeing a lot of different people. Not really knowing how to discern things is another thing that I want to talk about. But I'm here to say, don't do that to your children. You are putting bona fide trauma in them before some can even really speak. So when they're afraid to go in this bathroom, you'll be like, "Child, go on in there. Ain't nothing gonna get you because you over it. It didn't happen to you." And your mind is not real. But to that child's mental, it stays with them for how long? Maybe forever. But it could stay with them for life. But it's gonna definitely stay with them for years. It's just like somebody. I have cats, and some of the people that aren't cat lovers. Now, dig what I'm saying. Some of the people that aren't cat lovers, they'll say, "Oh, I don't mess with cats." I say, "Well, why not?" They say, "Well, when I was little, a cat scratched me, and I haven't messed with them since. When I was little, a cat tried to attack me, and I just never fooled with them." It did what to them? It traumatized them, correct? So just think, or somebody say, "Well, my cousin is afraid of clowns because killer clowns from outer space terrorized them." With me, it was the movie Candyman and movies like The Exorcist. So we just have to really understand what we are doing to our children for the sake of likes. For the sake of somebody making us feel important in the moment, we're using our children as fodder. Um, at the expense of what? A viral moment. I don't know if I want to do a not a part two, but a second video. Another thing I want to talk about, it's kind of like off topic, but it's relevant. And I think I've spoken to this on my on here before, where I think the last one I saw was like yesterday when somebody was interviewing Kevin Gates during an interview, and he says, "I don't support Black Lives Matter." And then we go into this. We go into this regurgitation of what we keep saying. Uh, I don't support Black Lives Matter. Now, if I say I don't support it, I know why. I'll say because of George Soros, blah blah blah, this, that, and that, and it's just not gonna do from a liberating factor what we would expect it to do. But to say I don't support the letters or what it means, no, I'm not gonna say that. Because to me, it's like a starter kit for my family. So a lot of times, my family may say, how sometimes this is why we can't make this consciousness like this superiority versus inferiority within us. We do know that there are levels in everything, right? So in these levels, I study a lot. So therefore, I know quite a bit. But some of my family members that may want to understand where I am or maybe kind of connect or relate to me, they may not be at the level that I am, and I may not be at the level somebody else are, because it's always somebody always knows more than somebody else. So this level doesn't make us better or worse than people. It just makes us at different levels of understanding, if that makes sense what I'm saying. But anyway, I've had my family members be like, "Hey, what you think about Black Lives Matter?" And they're trying to connect to me. Now, I may tell them the Soros factor, but I'll say pretty much like Colin Kaepernick. I didn't bang on it or bash on it, because that's a starter kit to get this person to understand the plight or what's going on in society with Black people. That makes sense. But anyway, Kevin Gates goes to say what I've heard regurgitated billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of times. Well, I don't support Black. Like, all the folks that done something to me is Black folks. Kevin Gates goes and says everybody who makes fun of him on the internet are Black. Everybody that has ever put him down, Black folks are waiting to see him fall. Well, it's called proximity. Because if this was the 1930s, Kevin, we'd see who was violent to Black folks. We'd see who would do something to you. So let's just say, if I'm in the most whitest part of my city, where I'm just surrounded by others, I'm the only one, who do I think would do more damage to me? Latinos in the Latino community, who has done more to them than anybody? Who has committed more crimes or things against them? This is pretty much like black on black crime, which doesn't exist. Crime exists in itself. White people commit crimes against each other. Asian people commit crimes against each other. But the snake oil that they sell you is we only do these things to ourselves, which can be debated. But how? This is why I always tell people, check out the Tavistock Institute. I give a lot of resources, but I wonder how many people actually check it, or would you just come in and say, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about," or "Well, Black folks did this." You have to sometimes read. Like, how can I tell a Muslim that Quran is wrong or ignorant if I haven't read it? That's ignorant of me. Or to tell a person this movie isn't good and I haven't seen it. That's ignorant of me. So final point on Kevin Gates, because he just doesn't understand. And this is one of the things that Malcolm would always tell us about, where we start to think because these celebrities have money and they can go see all over the world, and they've been to Africa, they've been to Morocco, which is in Africa. But they've been all over. They can go anywhere they want. But just because you was exposed to something or you had the privilege to see it doesn't necessarily mean you really understand it. Make sense what I'm saying? And I think, he goes on to say, okay, so we look at it like this. Who are the main people you disrespect in your music, Ken? Do you disrespect all lives, or do you disrespect majority black lives? In your Super General song, who was the person you disrespected and told he needs to let you hit his wife? Was it a black guy or was it a white guy, Ken? When you're talking about gangster stuff in your lyrics, are you talking about all lives or are you talking about black lives? Because this is the blatant contradiction in them. They'll say black folks did this, but whenever they ready to ride, they say, sure, I do this to an NIGGA in a minute. We gotta understand. So I just wanted to share, but I really wanted to share about that TikTok challenge. Think about what we're doing to our children. Think about what we're exposing them to. Think about what we're putting in them and what we're stripping from them. And I'm gonna leave you at that. I leave you how I greeted you in the words of a BB of Fahodier, African Liberation for African People. Peace.